Today, let's talk about short stories.
Wow.
About what
Short
now?
what again?
Hi, friends, and welcome to my channel, Books, Stacks, and Stories. You know, those delightful literary tidbits that have been written by some of our greatest authors. What's a short story?
A short story is a brief, self-contained work of fiction that focuses on a single incident or character, aiming for emotional impact or insight with minimal exposition.
In short,
Ah.
a tale crafted to be read in a single sitting, with characters, facets, and plot twists placed into a smaller format like a fine jewel cut and polished to catch the light from every angle. Brief, brilliant, and unforgettable in its clarity. We all love a great novel, to dive into with relish, to know that it is there waiting for us to pick it back up. The character development, the plot twists, the immersive descriptions, it's quite a wonderful journey. But a typical novel can run several hundred pages or more, which is great. But what if we are craving a smaller morsel that packs all of the literary punch, but in a smaller, exquisite form? Most of our great writers have produced short stories as part of their contributions to the art, including Poe, Hemingway, Steinbeck, King, and Bradbury.
And many others.
Some of the finest were written by two esteemed early 20th century authors who insisted on interesting pen names. Saki, real name H. Munro, who lived from 1870 to 1916, was a British master of the short story whose works blend wicked wit, elegant prose, and a streak of gleeful cruelty, his most well-known example being The Open Window. Also, O. Henry, real name William Sidney Porter, born 1862 and died 1910. O. Henry was one of America's most beloved short story writers. His work is famous for witty narration, warm humor, and twist endings. The Gift of the Magi is considered to be a classic, all at only 5 to 6 pages, depending on the edition. But short stories have been around for a very long time. The earliest known example of a short story is The Shipwrecked Sailor from ancient Egypt, circa 2000 BCE. Often cited as the oldest surviving prose short story, this Middle Kingdom tale follows a sailor who is stranded on a magical island and encounters a giant talking serpent. Other examples include Mesopotamian short tales from Babylon and from Canaan, circa 1800 to 1500 BCE, such as The Story of Adapa, The War of the Gods, The Heavenly Bow, and The King Who Forgot. These were written in cuneiform and contain compact, self-contained narratives created nearly 4,000 years ago.
Wow!
So they are nothing new, these shorter tales. Long has it been known that emotion, beauty, excitement, mystery, and unexpected twists at the end, those twists, can all be expressed in a vivid collection of only a few pages of writing. It's a different aspect of the writer's craft. Edgar Allan Poe was a prolific poet, but also wrote a large number of all-time classic short stories, such as The Telltale Heart, The Pit and the Pendulum, and The Cask of Amontillado, each a brilliant, self-contained yarn that immerses the reader into the world of Poe's dark imagination, along with heart-thumping moments, psychological turns, and brilliant endings. So often, the best part of a story is the very last line or two that will cause me to draw in my breath in wonder at the writer's art. It says a lot about the power of elegance and the deep meaning possible with fewer words. There is an account of Ernest Hemingway being challenged to write the world's saddest story using only 6 words. Here's what he came up with. For sale. Baby shoes. Never worn. Pretty powerful stuff for only 6 words. But they open to the reader a tragic backstory filled in with details that only a human imagination can provide. Turns out, the Hemingway account may be a myth, or may have been inspired by an old printed advertisement from 1906. But it's a great story, and it shows how much literary punch can be packed into only a few words. If you're interested in delving into Hemingway's short stories, you may want to try Hills Like White Elephants. Short stories have always been well represented in the science fiction fantasy genres. In fact, tailor-made for those types of fiction. The aforementioned Poe, along with Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, and Ray Bradbury, have all made their marks with short stories that will live forever. For decades, these types of stories were published in monthly fiction magazines such as Galaxy, Amazing Stories, If, and Argosy, then later republished as part of anthologies or collections. Imagine the excitement in the 1950s or 60s of awaiting the next issue to arrive in your mailbox with a brand new story from one of the masters. Horror also makes great use of the format, with Stephen King, Clive Barker, Poe, and the always mind-boggling H.P. Lovecraft, cementing their legacies by writing stories that will never die and will always be loved by fans of the genre. There are also many authors today who produce notable short stories, including Tony Tulathamute, Mariana Enriquez, and Jesse Wren Marshall. So don't care to commit to the latest 800-page tome from your favorite author, but rather would like to chew on some short literary gems instead to brighten your day and titillate your imagination? Pick up a collection of short stories. And let me know in the comments below what your favorites are, or which authors or stories you would like to see on future videos. And thanks for visiting. Please come back often and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing.